Hey guys, so I am beyond excited to be making this video for you. It's been a long time coming, let me just say that. And I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for me to make this video because I just finished cosmetology school. And I got my license a couple of days ago. On Saturday I went and I took my licensing test very quickly after I finished school. I took the first date they had available because I didn't want to wait very long because I'm really eager to get out there in the work field and start working in a salon. So I'm very excited. So I know a lot of you guys wanted to know all about my experience, and I also posted on my Instagram if any of you guys had specific questions for me because I really want to make sure I hit every point that you guys need to hear. So I know you guys have a lot of questions, but I'll just start with like a brief thing of how it all went. So there's a lot of schools in my area, a lot of schools in your area. There was actually just a few, and I had toured one of them first. I had toured Toni & Guy, which is a pretty popular school in a lot of areas, and I really loved the school. I fell in love with it immediately, but it was very expensive, and this is the first thing I'm going to say. There are different kinds of schools out there. Some of them are inexpensive, and some of them are expensive. Like Toni & Guy, ooh, it was pretty expensive. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I can't remember, it was over years ago when I looked. I think it's like over $10,000, maybe $15,000, maybe more, I can't remember. I just remember it was an outrageous price, and I had gotten quoted for a loan from them, and it was just like too much for me to afford. So I looked around at other schools, and one day in the mail I'd gotten a flyer from one of my local high schools who had evening classes for cosmetology, and it was like the adult nightlife program, and I was like, oh, like that's kind of perfect because I can still work during the day. There are schools out there that have day classes. The Toni & Guy one was 8 to 4, and that's kind of hard for me to fit into my work schedule. And then this school was from 5 to 10 p.m. and it was for 13 months. It ended up being 14 months because we had so many snow days. Graduation was supposed to be a whole month ago, and we had just finished. So I mean, snow days kind of pushed it back, which was really annoying, but it's, you know, nobody's fault. You have to hit 1,000 hours in Massachusetts. So to graduate from cosmetology school, it depends on your state. Massachusetts, you have to have 1,000 hours finished to move on to take your licensing test, so 1,000 study hours. And I know in a lot of states it's 1,500. So if I decide to move anywhere, I'm gonna have to go back to school at the state that I relocate to. I know a big piece of my heart is in California, and I'm thinking maybe one day I'll move there, but I'm not totally sure. But if I would like to continue with hairdressing, I might have to go back to school. I know I would have to go back to school if I lived there because the requirement is 1,500, I believe. And a lot of states are 1,500. So depending on where you're from, where you decide to go to school, a lot of the programs range for about a year. So as I said, mine was 14 months, but it depends on where you go and how quickly you finish your hours. I know some schools you can go whenever you want, and you can finish as early or as late as you want. At my school, we had 12 free days to miss. And we still had to make up the hours because you have to hit 1,000 hours no matter what. But we had 12 free days to miss, but after you missed your 12th day, you have to pay like a $20 or $25 fee. So, because they want to make sure everybody keeps going and graduating. They don't want you to take advantage of the program, which I found, you know, very respectable. And you don't want to have to stay in school, you know, forever. So it was just kind of motivation almost to keep going. I only missed about 6 days of school, so I didn't graduate super late, and that was really important. So in the program that I chose, so as I said, I didn't choose Toni & Guy because it was just too expensive for me to handle. This school was, I think it was about 6,000. You know, more manageable, more doable. I will say this school, since it was the adult program at this night school, it was more of a program where you can put in whatever you want. Like, we were taught the basics, and however farther you want to push yourself and want to learn and practice, you can. It was one of those things where it's all self-directed. It was a little bit more self-directed than I'd wanted it to be. I'm very eager to learn, and I like to be pushed, and I like really organized settings. I don't really love chaos and, you know, do it on your own and stuff like that, and that's kind of how it was. So I'm gonna say probably your best bet when you're looking for schools is really look into it. Check out all the schools in your area. I had to travel about 20 minutes to get to my school, so if you have to travel a little bit, it's worth it to get a good education. And I will say, even if it's a little bit more expensive, it might be worth it if it's something that you're looking for. If you're looking for a very structured environment that's gonna go the extra mile, you know, go for that. If you want something more laid back, just make sure you really research your school and go take tours, you know, sit down with a financial advisor, sit down and see how the other students like it there, maybe talk to somebody, and it helps if you know somebody in that school or somebody who went there. You can really get an idea for it. It's really important to choose the right school for you because there are so many varieties of schools. Some will teach you more, some will teach you less. You got to find what really works for you. And what I liked about my school was they offered a few additional services, like throughout the year, you know, we got to go and take like color classes at Paul Mitchell. They offered us to pay if we wanted to go and get hair extension certified, and I chose to do that. So over the school year, they had an instructor come in for people who wanted to pay for it, and we got to get extra certification in hair extension. So, you know, that's really growing these days. So I was really happy that we had those opportunities, but there were also some opportunities that I didn't get per se that other schools in the area did get, and that was kind of upsetting. But overall, I really did like my school, and I had really sweet and nice teachers. So it really depends where you want to go, and like I said, research. As for makeup, as you guys know, I am a makeup artist. If you follow me on Instagram and watch my tutorials on here, makeup is a huge passion of mine. Did we learn a lot about makeup in my school? Not really, not at all actually. Like very minimal, touch base on it, pretty much enough for the state board test. And if you are looking, again, this really all has to do with what school you choose. You gotta ask questions when you go in. You gotta make a list of everything you want to get out of your school and make sure that school is fitting to it. Makeup I've learned by myself years ago. I taught myself. I watched tutorials on YouTube. I kind of just experimented, played around, and taught myself. So I mean, luckily that was good for me because I'd already really known and kind of just kept teaching myself. But if there were kids in my class who wanted to learn more about makeup, they probably, you know, were upset because they didn't. So, you know, it really, again, it depends on what school you go to. And a couple of you had commented on my Instagram asking about the makeup was, yeah, a couple of you said that you were new to makeup, and one of you said that you don't know much about makeup and you're new to it and you'd want to learn. I know there are schools that would teach you a lot more. I follow Marissa Lace on YouTube. I don't know if you know her. She's a beauty guru and she is amazing. She just finished school as well, so you know, if I want to be friends with her one day, oh my god, I want to be her BFF. Anyway, focus. So I know that she learned a lot about makeup there, and on one of her videos she had posted the brush kit she got. She had really extensive training, but I know her school was, you know, a little bit more expensive, a little bit more detailed. I didn't have that at my school per se, and I mean, I really wish I did. I think it would have been really great and exciting, and yeah, I wish I did. So again, these questions really depend on your school. So I mean, I know a lot of people, I think Tony and Guy probably touches more on it too. I know they're a lot more detailed and extensive, and I mean, I kind of wish I had been able to take part in that. So as for makeup, yeah, my school didn't, but I know a lot of schools do. That's just something you're gonna have to ask when you go and check out schools. A lot of people were asking about state board. State board. So there's a lot about state board. My school, the one that I chose, was really helpful, like so helpful in preparing us for state board, and you know, they taught us a lot on how to do everything, on how to pack our bags properly. They were really helpful in the state board process. And one of you guys had asked what school I go to, but I just don't really feel comfortable disclosing that information. But state board is not as scary. Oh Lord Jesus, I was shaking so bad, guys, when I was going for my state board test. Whew, on the ride there, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I had to run to the bathroom twice before because I was like, I had such a bellyache. Oh my god, I'm sorry, but I was so nervous. So the first like 20 minutes of the test, my hands were shaking, I was trying to stay focused. Oh, it was a mess. But Your school will help prepare you for state board. It's not too much to be scared about. There's two portions of state board. The first part is the practical, where you go through all the motions of, you know, things from finger waves to a haircut, pin curls. You do everything pretty much, you know, and you also do a makeup, facial, nails, everything. There's a little bit of everything, and it takes, you know, 3 to 4 hours. It's kind of long and it's a little tedious, but the most important thing about state board was sanitation. They just want you to sanitize. I know it's like really important to stay clean. That's like a huge, huge tip. You don't have to even do everything perfectly, but if you are following state board precautions when it comes to sanitation and disinfection and cleaning, you know, you'll do fine. You just have to stay calm and just breathe. As scary as it is, I went with my friend and I got to go together. Thankfully, they had spots open on the same day at the same place for us to go together. And we had graduated on the same day, so that was a relief to at least have him there with me. So anyway, state board. So you have the first portion, and then the second portion is the theory, which is written. It was on a computer for me. I don't know how it's like everywhere else. It was 125 questions. You know, if you follow in your school the Milady, what's it called? I don't know how to call it. It's just a brand of cosmetology. Our books were all Milady brand. This is the book you get, I think, after 750 hours, and it's just book with, you know, it has every single chapter that you study, and this little book will really, really help you. I brought the, it's kind of small too, as you can see. It's pretty small. I kept this in my purse wherever I went, and I just studied this constantly. I studied with my friends, you know, read this over every night, and you know, everybody's different. Everybody's a different kind of test taker, but if you just go through the questions, you know, the best thing I can recommend is to rule out the ones that do not make sense to you at first. You know, there's going to be some that are really obvious and some that aren't so obvious, so it really helps to use the elimination process and, you know, cancel out the ones that make no sense. And overall, you just gotta stay calm. You know, if you start rushing and getting nervous and tripping over yourself, you're just gonna freak out. The best advice I can give you is just to take a deep breath and calm down. I was so nervous, I spilled my water from my spray bottle, and the guy was like, calm down, it's okay, just relax. And I was like, okay, thank you. Oh my god, I was so nervous. But seriously, the biggest relief is when you come out and they say you passed, and you know, that day they give you your piece of paper that you have to hang up at your workstation wherever you decide to work, and they give you your little license with my picture right there. It's not even a bad picture. And I was really scared because they had the camera like really close to the door, and I was like this, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a double chin in the picture. But I didn't, thank gosh. So yeah, you'll feel so relieved when you just get it done, guys. If you're, you know, about to graduate school and going to take your test, you'll be fine. Just breathe. Can't tell you how much energy I wasted being nervous, and it didn't do me any good. So just study, be prepared. If you're prepared, you'll feel fine. Make sure your bags are packed really helpfully. You know, put your bags in order, make sure you have double combs and everything, because if you drop anything, kick it aside, do not pick it up. That's the biggest thing they say. Sanitize between every task, and has your hands, your workstation, everything. Make sure your cape's over the chair. I'm giving you a crash course here, guys. But make sure you have extra combs in all your bags, make sure you have extra gloves in all your bags, everything. Just have everything ready. That's the best thing I can recommend to you. Helena is my name, asked, how do you make money while going to school? This is what I said in the beginning, I decided to do the night school program from 5 to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday because I wanted to be able to work during the day. So I worked the morning shift from about 8 to 1, 8 to 2, and then I went home really quickly, ate a little snack, laid down, and went to school from 5 to 10. And I mean, it's a little bit hectic, and it's a very, you know, the year wasn't long per se, it was just busy. I think it went by so fast because I was so busy. So the best thing I can recommend if you are looking to really work, you know, find a schedule that fits for you. If you can work like an evening job, you know, go to school during the day. If you can work a day job, go to school during the nighttime. There are so many schools out there that will offer different schedules for you. You just gotta find what fits out for you. So yeah, I just worked my normal work schedule. Don't go too crazy though. I only worked about 20 to 25 hours per week because I didn't want to feel so crazy overwhelmed. I just made enough to get by with bills and stuff like that, and now I'm hopefully gonna start a job at a salon soon so I can start making real money. Amy Estout asked, how much does it cost from start to finish, and also were there older people in your class? I'm 36 and wonder if I would be able to fit in with all the young people or be a fifth wheel. Actually, that's a really good question. For cost anyway, I think I already mentioned at the beginning, all schools are different, but mine was about $6,000. And actually, I was really surprised because there were all sorts of people in my class. There were people in all age ranges, fresh out of high school, all the way up to maybe 50 or 60. Like, people, it's, you know, people want to start a new career sometimes, and I was pleasantly surprised to see such a diverse group of people. You know, we turned into a little family. It was nice. It's a really a bonding experience. But back on topic, yeah, there was all sorts of cultures, all sorts of ages, and that was my school. I'm assuming it's probably like that everywhere else. I know it's probably more likely at the evening program because I know a lot of adults work day jobs and want to go to school at night. And I will say that is tiring, so if you work like a hardcore job, it's not the best thing to do going to night school because you want to be able to have enough energy to put into it, whereas if you're exhausted, you're not really going to get the full aspect of the learning process. So I would just say take that into consideration, but there were all sorts of people there. Jessica King, 15, asked, what is the coolest thing you have learned how to do there? The coolest thing and the hardest thing are probably finger waves, because finger waves are making such a huge comeback. You'll see them all over the red carpet. Taylor Swift always rocks amazing finger waves, and they're really hard to do, but they're really cool to do, and I didn't even really know about them until school. Honestly, there were so many things I didn't even know about. I thought I knew hair really well, and then I went to school and I was like, wow, there's so much more to learn, and it's really crazy. It's really cool. And then she also asked, what was the most surprising thing you learned? The most surprising thing, I didn't really think that people were still doing like roller sets and pin curls, things like that. But everything, you know, you learn for state board especially are things that aren't super even popular these days anymore. You know, you don't really find people doing roller sets or pin curls because hot tools are really what have become the most popular trend of creating curls or waves in the hair. But you know, they're still around, and like we said, finger waves are coming back, so you never know what trends will repeat themselves. What are some things you didn't know you had to do in order to work in the field? Some things I didn't know I had to know were all those things that I just said, all the things that are coming back, you know, like finger waves. I didn't even really know about finger waves. I never, you know, when you think about hairstyling, you're like, oh yeah, cutting and coloring. Like, that's all you think about, really, because it's the most popular thing that are done in salons, pretty much. But there's so much more to it. There's just, oh my gosh, there's just so much to learn. And, I mean, one thing that I wish we had gotten to learn in my school were acrylic nails. We learned all aspects of cosmetology in my school. You know, from facials, makeup, brief makeup, manicures, and waxing. And waxing is not on state board. But a lot of schools offer acrylic nail training, and we weren't offered that in the night program at my school. The day program was offered it, but we weren't for some reason. I don't really know why. But that was something that I wish I had gotten to learn because I know acrylic nails are really popular. But anyway, manicures are really not my strong suit. You'll find when you get into the program and you start it that some areas you'll be really strong in and some you won't be so strong in. But you know, with practice, if you want to get better, you can get better. It's really all about how much you put into it. I, for some reason, will always suck at manicures. I don't know why. I think I just have shaky hands. Maybe I don't pay attention to detail, but I'm just like, derpty schniddle. It's all over my eponychium. You'll learn that phrase if you go to school. So there's a lot of terms, you know, to learn. That's one of the things for state board. There's just a lot of terms that you'll learn, like really random terms. And there's a lot more to it than people realize. Like, you're going to learn about, you know, just the basics pretty much, but a lot of weird terms from anatomy to biology, electricity, you know, there's chemistry even. There's a lot of it to learn and a lot of technical terms, especially when it comes to learning about, you know, the hair, the follicle, the scalp. There are so many specific terms, and, you know, you'll need to know some of them for your state board test, but you know, pace yourself and study, you'll be fine. The hardest skill to pick up, somebody asked, probably finger waves, as I said before. It's a challenge, and it's everybody's least favorite. If I had the opportunity to go back in time and probably do this during high school at a trade school, I probably would have. I probably would have done it in high school because I'm so eager to get back to where I was. But I mean, I am who I am because of like what I've been through, so I probably wouldn't want to change that. But if you have the opportunity to start in high school, I mean, why not? If that's something you know you want to do. I had to take a little time to figure out where my life was going. You know, I went to a few colleges and studied this and studied that, and then I finally realized where I was supposed to be, and it's like the best decision I ever made. You know, a lot of people, one of the biggest advices one of the best pieces of advice I can give to you is to always follow your heart, guys. I've always loved hair and makeup. It's always been my thing. You know, I've been doing all my friends' and family's hair for a while. It's just something that's been in my blood. A lot of us have been taught to believe that to be successful, you know, in America, that you have to have a degree. And that's kind of the brainwashed cycle I had been in for a very long time. And don't get me wrong, college is great, but they don't have a degree for this. And this is something that if you have passion for, then you'll never go wrong with it. It's the best piece of advice I can give is to just follow your heart and do what makes you happy. If it's a certificate or a trade program, don't be scared to follow your heart on that because, you know, as the quote says, if you love what you do, work will never feel like work. It's just going to feel passionate and pleasurable, and there's nothing better than getting paid to do what you love. And if your family's giving you, you know, trouble about not getting a degree, you just have to explain to them that this is important to you, that this is going to be the best for you in the long run. And I'm telling you, girlfriend or boyfriend, whoever you are, you can make a lot of money doing hair, and there are endless opportunities that you'll learn about in school that come along with the cosmetology field. And if you get sick of one aspect, trade to another aspect. You know, you can go from being, you know, a facial giver, you can go into esthetician work, or you can go over and do manicures, you can do makeup, you can do hair, you can always find different ways. You could be a cosmetology teacher one day. There are so many endless opportunities with cosmetology, and I think that's something I love so much about it because there are choices to change in the future. What are the areas you struggled with the most? Probably, like I said, manicuring. I'm just not good at manicures. I like doing facials, I like waxing, you know, but manicures, it's just not my thing. What are all the areas you had to learn? Everything. I'll take you through just a couple of things, like things that you have to learn, you know, for your state board, or, you know, facials, makeup application, manicuring. I think we had to do finger waves and pin curls, a haircut. We had to do a blow dry, a curling set. What else did we do? I'm trying to remember all of it. There was a lot on there. It was like a 4-hour test. Highlighting, coloring, you have to do like a virgin and a retouch, and then chemical relaxers, a perm. I think that's all. I can't remember. But I mean, there's a lot of things to learn, and you know, you're gonna learn a lot about color formulation. I think, I didn't say this before, but I think color formulation is something that takes years and years and years to master, and that's something I'm definitely still learning. A lot of us in school, we're still learning, and it's a continuous process because there is so much, oh my gosh, hair, guys. There's so much more to hair than people realize, and we are truly scientists, we're psychologists, like, we do so much. Working with clients, you have to have a strong enough personality and understanding of people to work in this field. You really have to read people, you have to consult really well with them. That's something that will take a lot of practice and time as well, but working with people, this is definitely a people person profession. You know, you can kind of feel out the vibes of people when, you know, when they close their eyes, you know, it's not time to talk to them. Just do their hair and let them relax. Some people will come in, you know, with a boatload of problems and anxiety, and they just need to talk to you the whole time and get it all out there. We are truly psychologists, guys. There is a lot of psychology behind the cosmetology field. It's so crazy. And the last question was it fun? Was it fun? Yeah, it was fun. I mean, you know, it's crazy. I met a few of my best friends in that course, and it's crazy because, I mean, spending all that time together over a year course, it's like you really, really bond with people, and I'm really happy that I got to walk away with some new great people in my life, and it was a great year. It was crazy how fast it went by and how many memories we had. Oh my god, I totally cried when I left, by the way. It's definitely an emotional thing, but it was really great. I don't regret it for a second. It was a really, really great experience. I'm really happy that I finally made a decision to go to school and just do it. Like, I'm here, I feel like I'm finally where I'm supposed to be, and that is the most beautiful feeling in the world, honestly, guys. I can't even tell you how good it feels. So, if this has been lingering in your heart for a while, I'm gonna say, go for it. Just go for it. I know you're not gonna regret it. You won't. So, I feel like this video is really long, and I know you guys had so many questions, and I hope I hit every point. So if I missed any points, please send me a tweet and I will get back to you. That's the best way. I don't always get to see comments on here. it's kind of hard for me to reply to them because it's on my phone and I'm never like home to check my laptop, and I can check tweets on my phone. So I will put my social media information in the description box below. So send me a tweet if you have a specific question that I missed, and I'm sorry if I missed it, but yes. So tweet me a question and I'll get back to you, and I hope I didn't miss any points. There's so much to cover about it. I know, it's like 14 months of school in one video. Be yourself. Follow your heart. If this is something that you're interested in, you will not regret it. Honestly, you'll get in there and, you know, you'll feel like you're at home. It's just, I mean, that's how I felt anyway. Because, I mean, people, this is a passionate kind of thing. I mean, if you have any sort of desire to follow this career path, I doubt that you'll regret it, because why would you even have this kind of feeling, you know? This is the field that you feel passionate for and in your heart, and there's really small chance that you'll regret it, guys. It's a great, great field. And all of you who are in cosmetology school now and about to do your state board test, best of luck to you guys. If you have any state board questions for me too, send me a tweet and I'd be glad to help you guys. You will totally do great, guys, and please comment below all of your cosmetology thoughts and chat amongst each other. So I love you guys bunches. I hope this video was helpful, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye, guys!